Coinbase reported earnings yesterday. Block also reported earnings yesterday. We've got a miner up for sale. Lots and lots of mining updates from several companies, as well as Bitcoin trading back above that $60,000 level. We've got an action-packed episode for you today, so stick around for the whole thing. If you've been with us a while and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for the channel, and I appreciate every single one of you. Let's get right into it. So Coinbase reported earnings yesterday, and it was good. Initially, the stock fell off of that, but as you can see right now, it's up 0.59% on the day, even though there was a dip after those earnings. They were pretty phenomenal, though. So let's take a look here at those numbers. You can see here that the beat here for the earnings report yesterday was on earnings per share was 244.83%. The expected earnings per share was $1.28, came out to $4.4. Revenue was also a 19.74% beat. That is amazing. Now, of course, this entire quarter basically included their stewardship of the ETFs. It included a Bitcoin all-time high, as well as some amazing network fees. Lots of traders. This is showing that lots of traders are back in Coinbase and that stewardship of the ETFs is paying them nicely already. So this is fantastic. If you are in Coinbase, congratulations to you on that. I'm currently out of Coinbase. I wrote it up from 60 to about 150 and I sold there. I should have held. Oh, well, I made money. It's okay. Don't cry for me. And of course, none of this is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. This is for informational and entertainment purposes only. So let's move on to the next one, the money market funds. I like to look at this every single week. It comes out on Thursday, so I cover it Thursday or Friday. Anyways, you can see that it went up by a little over $20 billion. Since last Thursday, which is actually a good sign. That means that more money is getting parked on the side. I view this kind of like a safety net for the market. If I'm starting to get concerned about the market and I take a look at this and this is in a good place, that means that there are a lot of dollars on the sidelines that could quickly and easily be injected into the market on a dip. So that gets me very excited to see this climbing up right now. Now, that is a little concerning in terms of, okay, it means people want to hoard cash more than they want to hold equities right now. But when the prices get good, like when the prices get juicy, they're going to jump back in. It's going to be pretty exciting. In fact, let's take a look at the SPY for that. This is for block. We'll take a look at block in a moment. The SPY, actually, it got out of my little pennant here, this little area right there. It is opening above it. Now we are making higher highs and higher lows. You can see right here we had a low followed by a high, then a higher low, then a higher high, then a higher low, and now we're making a higher high right now. And that is pretty exciting. We have to see where this goes. This is showing a bullish leaning, meaning that the SPY looks like it wants to potentially get back up into that $520 range here, maybe even higher in the next days and weeks. So keep an eye on that. If you are a SPY trader, it is looking currently at the moment, it is looking bullish. And I think that's coming off of the Fed news that they are going to begin tapering the amount of assets they let fall off of the balance sheet. They're going to start lowering that, which is not necessarily full on injection, but it is less suppression. And that's pretty amazing. So let's take a look at Block as well. You can see that Investors Business Daily also called it Square, so I'm not the only one that gets confused about that. They really should probably consider changing that ticker. Anyways, yesterday, so they're actually up big right now, so make no mistake that they're down right now. They're not. But yesterday they had a pretty bad down day because there was a federal probe into their Cash App and Bitcoin, which is a continued onslaught from the government against cryptocurrency, which is going after every crypto related stock and has been for, a couple of years now. They like punishing the crypto space right now. I think that their bags aren't full enough, and that could be potentially why they might be doing that. But of course, that's just a conspiracy theory at this time. Anyways, let's take a look at the block chart here. You can see that it came all the way to the bottom of my box here, right as the Hong Kong ETF was causing some pandemonium for a couple of days. And then once we got those good earnings, it just started going up, 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 up. And that's pretty fantastic. here. As long as we're above this trend line, I'm feeling fairly bullish on this going forward. When Bitcoin really starts kicking off, I'm expecting to see this up in the hundreds. I'm currently, again, I'm not in this trade because I can't be in all of them. I don't have enough money to be in all of them, but this is just one of the ones that I am tracking. I'm tracking it because it's connected to Bitcoin. I'm tracking it because it's a similar sort of thing to like MicroStrategy in terms of it being a levered play on Bitcoin with their treasury. Now it's a smaller treasury, but it is a treasury, and it's something to keep in mind and keep an eye on. The next piece of information that everyone is excited about yesterday is that Stronghold Mining put itself up for sale. Now this is a facility that represents 4.1 exahash, and they just put themselves on the open market for sale. Now there are two potential companies that we are speculating could be looking at purchasing this mining operation here, and those are CleanSpark and Marathon. Both companies have openly talked about using mergers and acquisitions in order to grow their exahash aggressively this year. CleanSpark in particular has been mentioning that they want to buy facilities to plug in their brand new miners that are currently sitting waiting for infrastructure to plug them in, because they are ready to significantly and quickly increase their exahash amazingly right now, and that's going to be pretty freaking cool. Anyways, their current operations for Stronghold is 4.1 exahash. If CleanSpark were to pick that up, that would put them well over the 20 exahash mark. If they plugged in their better, more efficient miners, that would put them even further ahead of the game, and that would absolutely send the stock bonkers if they went above that 20 exahash. Like if it was just suddenly before Q2 was even over, they were above 20 exahash, that would be just like an insane day. But we also know that Marathon is going to be aggressively looking for this as well. Marathon's been getting punished a lot lately for having poor efficiency in their operations. So if any good news for them is going to be fantastic, especially if it's a operation that they can buy and they can operate outright instead of renting out. That's going to be pretty good for Marathon as well. You're going to see possibly some stiff competition between those two companies trying to acquire this miner here. Now, maybe some other actor could come in and scoop it up, but those are the two that we're watching right now going head to head after this. Potentially, they haven't started yet, but they could be the ones that we're thinking are likely to go after this opportunity because they've been trying to find strategic ways of aggressively increasing their exahash this year. So with that said, let's look at the Bitcoin mining update for CleanSpark. So CleanSpark, they mined 721 Bitcoin this month. Now, last month they mined 806. So it is down. You have to remember that about a third of the month was after the halving, meaning that the rewards were cut in half for a third of the month. So that's actually not a bad amount of Bitcoin for them to be mining. All right, not bad at all. They only sold 2.8 Bitcoin throughout the month, so that's pretty good. I like that. I don't mind seeing that, especially right now. They're feeling very confident in holding their treasury. That's fantastic. Their current treasury is at 5,739. So that, I mean, they only sold 2.8. So, last month their treasury was, closer to about 5,000. So that's pretty good. We're looking at that. Current hash rate is 17.3 exahash, which again is over 70% higher than their exahash at the beginning of the year. Remember, that was just 4 months ago that they've increased their exahash by 70% in that time. Operational update, they are still working on the Dalton expansion. When that is done, that will increase their exahash by 2.4, which isn't quite going to get them to 20, but it'll get them very, very close. I cannot wait for the day that they can say, when they come out with the press release saying that they are over 20 exahash. That is going to be an exceptional day, I think, in my opinion. And of course, this is not financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Let's take a look at Bitfarms, their production for the month. Okay, Bitfarms, they mined 269 Bitcoin for the month of April. What did they get in March? Where they at? Bitfarms right here, they mined 286 in March. So really not much down, not even 20 less Bitcoin on the month. Now, of course, that was only a third of the month that was after the halving. So we do have to wait until May is completed before we really know how much less Bitcoin each of these companies is going to be mining. Let's see here. They're on track for their 21 exahash. So let's go take a look at that here in a moment. They've also improved efficiency at some of their facilities by 9%. That's actually quite good. Oh, this was something really good about Bitfarms. So in Quebec, they were having some issues with the value-added tax changing on them, and it turns out they got a favorable outcome on that. That's actually really fantastic for Bitfarms. I'm really happy to see that. That was going to significantly impact their operations in Quebec if this did not come out in a favorable manner for them. So them getting that VAT treatment coming out in a favorable way for Bitfarms is a fantastic outcome. I'm very, very happy about that. Oh, so this is great. So with their new deployments, they're expecting to have 10 exahash in May. That is a big improvement from their current exahash, which is about 7, a little less than 7. No, they're at 7. They're at 7 exahash. Yeah. Their current exahash is 7, and they're going to be up to 10 by the end of May with these upgrades. That is fantastic. And by Q2, they're expecting to be to 12. So that is just great. Bitfarms is chugging along. I'm telling you. And of course, not financial advice, not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. When this company finds their new CEO, this is going to be taken off. Now, of course, unless that CEO sucks or something, they have like a bad history or something like that. But if they get a good CEO, when that news comes out, all this other good news is finally going to pay off, and that's going to be fantastic. Okay, what else is going on in here? Okay, yeah, they had an average operating exahash of the month at 6.1, even though they have a potential for 7. There were some outages, there was some maintenance, so they weren't able to operate 100%. One thing you can see here, though, is that Bitcoin sold in April 2024, 245. So they sold the vast majority of the Bitcoin that they mined this month, so the treasury didn't really improve too much this month. I'm not super upset about that. They've got a very aggressive growth plan. They are on track with that growth plan, so I'm not like over the moon about it, but I don't hate it, so it could be worse. And with that said, let's move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, look at this morning star chart right here. This is amazing. This right here, these 3 candles. If we close this candle out above 60,651, which it looks like today, very, very possible. This is a Morningstar pattern. That is a bullish pattern, especially coming out at the bottom of a move. Very big flush down. This is a signal of a turnaround. And look at it go. Look at it go. It's going right now. We just crossed $62,000 right now. Now we could come up to about $63,000 before we start hitting some resistance here coming up on the bottom of this previous move. But this is very bullish. This is quite bullish, especially these big long wicks on the bottom here, a Morningstar pattern. I mean, honestly, if we end up getting above 63,800 today and holding that, we'd be engulfing we'd be engulfing all the bad news from the Hong Kong ETF. And remember, last time we had a dip was back here. Is this bigger dip here was in January 11th when the ETFs came out. Remember, we dropped about 16, 17%, and then we went up over 90%. Now, at this point, if we turn around right here, we only went down, what was it, 11%? Let's see, from the opening, we moved down. Yeah, we only moved down 11.43%. So maybe we wouldn't get that 100% rally like we did last time we got that significant dip from an ETF joining the fray. Perhaps this time it might be a 50% or a 60%. But let's take a look at what that looks like. So we come from the bottom, and we'd be doing, let's see, what if we just did a 50%? If we went up 50%, $85,000. If we went up 60%, I can't even see it. Hold on. I didn't make it big enough, which is concerning. There we go. 60% would be about $90,000. So we could be potentially seeing off of this dip here, off of this move, we could be potentially seeing anywhere between, $85,000 and $90,000 coming out of this thing, assuming that the bullish trend continues. Now, of course, if we break down back below and close beneath this neckline here on this potential head and shoulders that I pointed out yesterday, you can see shoulder, whoops, like this, shoulder, head, shoulder. We break this line here. If we break this line here and close beneath it, $52,000 is in the cards. Remember, that is still potentially an issue. But right now, with the candles that we are printing, this looks bullish, and I like it. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling a lot like I felt back here, right here. Remember these 3? March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, that Morningstar pattern? This looks very, very reminiscent of that. How high did we go off of? Let's take a real quick look here. Off that bottom, we went up about 15% in a couple of days. Not too bad. If we were to do that right now, we would be going up, if we did 15%, that takes us back up to $65,000. CleanSpark is up 6.59% today. That's looking pretty good. We're right back up to around that $17 level. It looks like we're breaking out of this aggressive descending channel. I love to see that. Let's take a look at Bitfarms real quick. Bitfarms is plus 3.3%. I mean, this is just a really intense controlled zigzag, like right here, starting April 4th, just this really controlled zigzag pattern. I think we're going to see this. This is a higher low though, so that's good. That's a higher low. That's quite good. All we have to do is get above $2.14 and we have a higher high. And then we have a higher low, higher high pattern on something that is a very controlled looking pattern. So I like that for Bitfarms. So take a look at Mara. What is Mara doing today? Is up 4.22%. We're at $17.79. We still have to get up and above that $19.80 level in order to start getting real bullish on that. And of course, we could come down and look at that $16 level again on Mara. Let's take a look at RIOT. What is RIOT up to? RIOT is doing up 6%. Not bad. We do need to get above this orange dotted line. That is the trend line. Got to get back above it, close above it, hold it for a few days, and then we could be looking at coming back around to that $13 level. If we fail at doing that, we're likely to come back down to around to this $10.23 level. Let's take a look at BitDigital. What is BitDigital doing today? It's up 2.79%. This one's been getting compressed a lot. This one's been getting significantly compressed, honestly, since about early March. This thing's been just getting compressed. This thing is a spring coiling. I cannot wait to see their market update, their mining update. I want to see their AI update as well. I'll be covering all the rest of the miners that have mining updates tomorrow. This earnings is always wrong. I keep saying it's wrong. We'll wait till they actually announce it. But we're looking right now at BitDigital. It's just hanging out at the bottom of the range. We've got support at around $2. Resistance is where we currently are right now. Then again, all the way up to about $2.60, we have resistance above, like just a big cloud of resistance above us that we have to get above. Once we get above 260, we have a little more breathing room up to about $3. But right now we're kind of just suppressed between $2 and $2.25, and then we'll be suppressed between 225 and about 260 before we are able to move up higher. And with that said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.